I was lying on the ground. I was in pain, literally on national television in front of everybody, knowing that this injury was about to literally change everything for me. And in that moment, I had two different choices. I could let it break me, right? I can accept that my time as an athlete was maybe over and let it define me as the girl who got hurt on American Ninja Warrior. Or I could be the first person to prove that an injury doesn't have to be the end. It can actually be a rebirth.
Hey there, and welcome to What If It All Goes Right, the podcast where we flip the script on obstacles and turn them into opportunities. I'm Angela Gargano, 6-time American Ninja Warrior, Miss Fitness America, keynote speaker, and someone who knows firsthand what it's like to face setbacks and wonder, is this for me? I've torn my ACL on national television, worked the 12-hour overnight shifts as a biochemist, and battled my own doubts about how to chase my goals while juggling life's chaos. But through it all, I've learned one powerful truth. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's about how you view them. The difference between success and staying stuck, it's all in your mindset and what you do next. This podcast is here to remind you that every single person you admire has faced obstacles. The real magic happens when you decide to see those hardships as stepping stones to something greater. Each week, we'll dive into powerful stories and practical tools and mindset shifts to help you take control of your life and ask the big question, what if it all goes right? You'll leave each episode empowered, inspired, and equipped with the actionable steps to create the life you've been dreaming of. Because the truth is, you're stronger than you think, and your obstacles are just opportunities in disguise. Let's rewrite your story together. Get ready to feel inspired, take action, and see what happens when you start asking, what if it all goes right?
Hey there, and welcome back to What If It All Goes Right, the podcast where we break through limits, redefine what's possible, and create unstoppable momentum in our lives. I'm your host, Angela Gargano, and today's episode is one that I've been so excited to bring you because it's something that has truly shaped my life, my journey, and the way that I coach others. And it all comes from down to one simple, powerful phrase: be the first. Now, I want you to take a moment to really think about that for a second. Be the first. The first in your family. The first in your company. The first in your own damn mind to do something you once thought was impossible. Because here's the truth. Every single breakthrough starts with someone deciding to be the first. But let's be real. Being the first is terrifying. It's walking into the unknown. It's feeling like you don't belong. It's fighting the doubts that creep into at every turn of your mind. But what I've realized over the years is that when you step into being the first, you don't just change your life, you create a ripple effect that changes the lives of everyone else around you. So today, we're going to break this down together. What does it mean to be the first? What are the steps to actually breaking through that fear and taking that first step? And how do we mentally prepare for this shift? And most importantly, how can you literally start to take action today? Not tomorrow, not next year, literally right now. Because the world doesn't need more people waiting. The world needs you to be the first. Now let's rewind for a second. I want you to think about the first time you really thought about something and something that was super impossible for you. Like, rewind right now. When was there a moment where you're like, this is going to be literally impossible? And maybe this was when you were a kid and you were trying to climb a tree or do a cartwheel. Maybe it was later. Maybe it was applying for a job you didn't actually feel qualified for. Maybe it was running a race that you never thought you'd be able to finish, stepping into a new leadership position, or even just speaking up in a meeting. And I guarantee you that at some point you've looked at something and thought, I do not know if I can actually do this. That moment, that's where most people stop. That's where most people settle. But what if in that moment, instead of backing away, you told yourself, I'm going to be the first. I'm going to figure this out. And I'm going to start asking myself, what if it actually goes right? Now, I want to take you back to one of the most defining be the first moments in my own life so that hopefully you can use it as a way to reflect and be like, oh, wow, she can do it. I can do it too. So one of the most defining moments for me was tearing my ACL on American Ninja Warrior. I was literally in the best shape of my life. I had been training for years, and in literally one instant, everything was gone. I was lying on the ground. I was in pain, literally on national television in front of everybody, knowing that this injury was about to literally change everything for me. And in that moment, I had two different choices. I could let it break me, right? I can accept that my time as an athlete was maybe over and let it define me as the girl who got hurt on American Ninja Warrior. Or I could be the first person I knew to come back even stronger, to be the first person to prove that an injury doesn't have to be the end. It can actually be a rebirth. And I chose to be the first. I didn't just rehab my knee, I rebuilt myself. I trained harder, smarter. I worked on my mindset, my nutrition, my habits, and 11 months later, I came back to American Ninja Warrior and I dominated the course. And not because I'm a superhuman, not because I have some magical gene that makes me different from you, but because I made a decision. And that's what I want for you. So being the first isn't about athletic achievements. It's about breaking through any barrier that's been holding you back. And I've worked with corporate leaders who felt stuck, who were handed massive problems that seemed literally impossible to solve. Budgets getting cut, the teams getting restructured, AI changing their industries overnight. And every time their first instant was, how the hell do I figure this out? And I tell them the same thing. I tell every woman who's doubted their ability to do a pull-up. You got to break it down. You got to trust yourself. You got to take that first step and be the first. One of my favorite examples is a speaker I work with, Amy Jo Martin. I absolutely adore her. She came to me with a goal. Honestly, a lot of people would have laughed at this goal. I remember she messaged me on, like, someone connected us through Instagram, and she said, I want to be able to do a flip on stage in this talk that's going to be in front of literally thousands of people. Not just for fun, but because she wanted to symbolize something even bigger. She wanted to prove to herself and to her audience that she could push past her limits. Did she have doubts? Absolutely. She didn't know if she could actually do it, but we worked together step by step. We broke down the movement and we built the confidence, reinforced her belief in herself. And guess what? She did the damn flip on the stage. It was amazing. I got to see it in real life in front of an audience. And that is what it means to be the first. Now let's get real though. How do you step into this energy, right? It's not every day where we can just step in and be like, I got this. I can do this, right? Because when failure happens or when something comes up that you think is impossible, all the doubts are in your mind, right? Your energy maybe isn't feeling so high because you're like, I don't know if I can do this. And right now, what I want you to do is take a piece of paper out and open your notes app on your phone. And we're going to go through some of my right framework. And these are the exact steps I use when I need to push past fear and step into really being the first and having that mentality. So number one is recognize and feel. So what's something you've been putting off because you didn't think you could do it? What's a goal that excites you but also scares you? Write it down, say it out loud, and own it. But more importantly, I want you to take that moment and recognize the emotion that it's bringing up for you. Because I think so often as strong leaders, right, who might be listening to this, or busy, strong moms, right, we want to feel so strong all the time. We want to hold on to that strength. We're going to be strong, 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 strong. And we're trying to skip the part about how we feel about it. But you can't move past that feeling. You need to move through the feeling. You need to still feel the stuff, but that is important. You need to actually take the feeling that you have, understand it, reflect it on it, but not get stuck there. So maybe there's a goal that you have that scares you, and that feeling you have, it again, is that feeling of fear. You get all tensed up in your body. Don't feel bad that you feel that way. Don't try and push past that and be like, oh, I'm just strong. Feel it. Feel whatever you need to feel and do not get stuck there. And what I love to do is I love to have a rule for this. We set a deadline on this, right? We set a deadline on feeling a certain way. Okay. Feel it. Maybe you're saying to yourself, you know what, in 3 days, I'm going to just allow myself to feel through this impossible thing that just happened. Maybe with this, it's an impossible challenge that just came up, like me tearing my ACL, right? Take a moment, feel whatever you need to feel. Maybe it's a 2-minute like pity party. Maybe it's a 3-day, I just got to chill, take some space from it. But set a deadline to it so you don't actually get stuck there. Number two, I want you to identify what you can control. Okay. So, really, what's really stopping you? Is it the fear of failure? Is it fear of what people think? What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? Focus on what you can control right now. What can you actually control? Let's identify that. Number three, generate that game plan. Okay. No one goes from zero to hero overnight, especially with something like this. Okay. If it's a fitness goal, we're going to start with that first exercise, that first step. If it's a business goal, we're going to break it down to those baby steps and go back to that foundation. If it's mindset, we're going to start with shifting just one small habit. Okay. The plan is important, and it's really important to make sure you're piecing it into those little itty bitty steps so that it feels more manageable, so that you show up better. So it's easier to show up, right? Don't look at only the end goal. Let's break it up into those baby steps. Number four, let's hold on to our why. So when things get hard, and they are, especially even after when you're going through something that you think is challenging and you're pushing through and you're becoming this better version of yourself and this version of yourself that you're stepping into new territory that you've never been a part of before, there's going to be even more challenges with that, right? So really understanding your why through that challenge is going to be important. Who are you doing this for? Yourself? Is it for your family? Is it for your future self? I want you to keep that in front of mind, because when things get hard, you have to come back to your why. That is what's going to drive you and keep you going forward, because it's going to be hard. There's going to be days that you don't want to keep going. Your mindset is going to reflect back to that first piece where you're continuing to feel, right? But now we're going to have that gain that awareness around it. We're not going to get stuck there, and we're going to come back to our why. And number five, you got to take that action, right? Send the email, sign up for the thing, do the first rep, make the first move right now, not tomorrow. It doesn't have to be a massive step. It doesn't have to be action that's absolutely absurd. It should just be one step. Just take some type of action. And as you show up each day, it's going to start to compound over time, right? And listen, I know it's scary to go first with some of this stuff. It's scary to take that first step, especially with something that feels really hard. But I also want you to know this: every single time I've chosen to be the first to take that first step, it led to something totally incredible. Even when it didn't go perfectly, even when it was messy, even when I doubted myself. And I want you to hear me when I say this, that you are literally built for this. You are built for this. And when it comes back to resilience, you're not born with it. Resilience is built, and you are built for this. We're going to build it together through going through this framework, okay? So what's it going to be? Are you going to wait for someone else to go first? Are you going to step up and be that first person? Now, if this episode resonated to you, I want you to share it with someone who needs to hear this. I want you to tag me on Instagram at Angela Gargano and tell me what you're choosing to be the first at. And also, I always want you to keep asking yourself, when you do embark on this journey, when you are starting to push past this challenge, what if it actually goes right? What if it's already going right? I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to see you next time.